This is Chris with Owens. Like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, World of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris with Owens, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both my TikToks. It'll all be down there in the description box. And I'm here to do my WWE Friday Night SmackDown November 18th, 2022 reviews. So here we go, discussing about Friday Night SmackDown for tonight. Now, Survivor Series will be next weekend. So we still got one more SmackDown and Raw episode left before Survivor Series. But here we go, discussing about SmackDown. Now we kick off with the first segment of the night. We see Sheamus, Ridge Holland, Butch, the Brawling Bruce, and Drew McIntyre make their way down to the ring because they are going to be taking on the Bloodline. All 5 members, Roman Reigns, the Usos, Solo Sikoa, and Sami Zayn in a War Games match. 5v5. They only need Drew McIntyre and the Brawling Bruce only need one more person for the team, but apparently that's going to be announced later on tonight, which I'll get to the point. So yeah, that match will be happening at Survivor Series. So yeah, the Brawling Bruce starts talking. Well, Sheamus and Drew McIntyre starts talking. Sheamus tells, the fans and everything that even though him and Drew McIntyre, gets into fights all the time and all that stuff, they still got a special bond at the end of the day. Like Drew McIntyre was his best man a few weeks ago at his wedding and stuff, and that's why they got like a special bond with each other. And Sheamus was talking about how he got attacked by the Bloodline and stuff, how they injured his arm, and then how they've been going after everybody else. And he says that he's been sick and tired of it, and they want to get down to business with the Bloodline. They say they already found their 5th member, but they will be announced later on tonight, pretty much. And then Sami Zayn interrupts him. He comes out and he's talking about how he's the honorary Uce. And by the way, I forgot to mention, the fans was chanting Uce at McIntyre and them, and Sheamus was like, no, he's Brucey or some shit. So yeah, Brucey, I think. But yeah, that's what he was saying. He said Drew McIntyre is Brucey. But yeah, Sami Zayn came out and he was talking about how he's the honorary Uce, and that the Bloodline will be victorious at Survivor Series and all that stuff. And then Sheamus was talking about how when you find out who the 5th member is, you're going to pretty much crap your pants. So, yeah. And Sami Zayn was like, okay, but tonight I got to take on Butch in the World Cup. So I would definitely be beating him later on tonight, and then the Bloodline will go to Survivor Series and beat y'all. So yeah, that's what Sami Zayn said. But yeah, that's what happened. It was okay, pretty good segment to kick off SmackDown. But later on tonight, Sami Zayn will be taking on Butch in the first round of the World Cup tournament. Not only that, up next we're going to be seeing Ricochet versus Mustafa Ali 1-on-1 in the World Cup tournament of the first round. So yeah, that match will be happening up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, it was the first match of the night. It was Ricochet versus Mustafa Ali in the first round of the World Cup tournament. Now before I talk about this match, I did have like a scene from earlier today between Mustafa Ali and Ricochet, where Mustafa Ali was in the doctor's office getting checked out and everything because he has taped up ribs and all that from the match and everything against Bobby Lashley this past Monday night on Raw. And Ricochet goes to him and he goes like, Ali, do you really want to reconsider doing this match, because you need to think about your future and your wife and your kids and all that? And Ali was like, look, if I'm able to breathe and I'm able to walk, I'm still able to fight. So no, I ain't going to reconsider nothing. I'm going to go out there and have a match. So yeah, and Ricochet was like, okay, let's go do it, I guess. So yeah, when we get to the match, it was them taking on each other, and it was a pretty good match. Go check it out if you haven't yet. I'll just say right now, even though it's the first match of the night, it's probably going to be match of the night, because it was a really good one. Mustafa Ali selling the injury and stuff a lot. Ricochet was doing freaking great. At one point, we see Ricochet try to hit the Phoenix Splash, but he missed and everything, and then Ali locked on that submission hold. I forget what you call it, with the leg around your head and stuff, and he's like choking him out. But Ricochet was fighting out of it and everything. At one point, it looked like Ali was going to be the winner because he hits the Tornado DDT off the second turnbuckle onto Ricochet, and then climbs up the top turnbuckle, jumps off with the 450 splash, but Ricochet moves out the way, and Ali crashed and burned. and then Ricochet climbs up the top turnbuckle. Ali stands right back up to his feet, and then Ricochet jumps off with a shooting star press while Ali standing up, but hit it successfully, and then pinned him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Ricochet defeated Mustafa Ali tonight in the first round of the World Cup tournament. So next week, Ricochet will be taking on Braun Strowman one-on-one in the semifinals. But yeah, like I said, really good match. Go check it out if you haven't yet. For this match, I'll give it 4 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was a great high-flying match. Like, obviously what you'd be thinking is going to be a good match. And Ali was selling the injury and stuff like that. So yeah, it was really good. A lot of people was probably wondering, like, why is Ali in the tournament since the tournament's on SmackDown? He's not a SmackDown competitor. Is because, you know, they had to take out Rey Mysterio because he got injured. And not only that, let's be honest, Ali's kind of like originally supposed to be on SmackDown because he actually got drafted to SmackDown last year. But then, you know, he left for a few months and then came back, but he came back on Raw. So yeah, originally he's supposed to be on SmackDown, but it's whatever. But yeah, like I said, really good match between these two guys. Later on tonight, Butch will be taking on Sami Zayn in the tournament as well. So yeah, that match will be happening later on tonight. But then, after the match ended, we'll get to a segment backstage where we see Jimmy and Jay and Solo Sikoa and Sami Zayn. And Jay was talking crap to Sami Zayn, talking about why did you went out there and all that, talking about the bloodline and stuff like that. You know, getting pissed off like he always does. And why didn't you find out who that 5th competitor is, and we should be knowing and all that stuff. So yes, Jey Uso's pissed off about that, and Sami Zayn was like, okay, I'm sorry, blah, 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 my dog, whatever. And then Jimmy Uso comes up, he goes like, Sammy, go take a breather. We'll just figure everything out. And then Sammy steps away, and then he comes back, and then Jay almost freaking busts out laughing and stuff, which was pretty funny, because of something Sammy said. But yeah, Jimmy and then was like, yeah, we need to go figure out who that 5th member is. But yeah, that's what happened. Apparently, I guess Roman's supposed to be on SmackDown tonight as well. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown. See you guys later until then. So the next thing to happen on Friday Night SmackDown, before I talk about the match between Karrion Kross and Madcap Moss, there was a few segments before this match. One of the segments was the New Day getting interviewed backstage. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, and they was talking about, you know, how do you feel about losing your record to the Usos and stuff last weekend. The New Day was like, it's one thing to win the titles, but it's another thing to try to hold the titles for over a year and stuff like that. And yeah, they are disappointed about losing the record, obviously, but they said they'll eventually try to win back the tag team titles and do it again. So yeah, that's what the New Day was talking about. But then they get interrupted by the Intercontinental Champion Gunther, Ludwig Kaiser, and Giovanni Vinci Imperium. Giovanni Vinci was like, you know what kind of record y'all got? Y'all do got record. Don't be upset. Y'all got record of being clowns. And Ludwig Kaiser was talking about how they was a disgrace to be in the wrestling ring and stuff like that. And they got Imperium gets to pick up the pieces now and actually fix the place. So yeah, that's what they were saying. The New Day was like, well, you know what? And then they started making fun of them and stuff like that with their accent and all that stuff. And talking about how they will find a mystery partner tonight. And then they would take on Imperium. And Imperium's like, okay, we accept. So yeah, later on tonight, it'll be Imperium versus the New Day and a mystery partner later on tonight. And then we get to another segment where we see Madcap Moss working out and stuff. Emma comes up flirting with him and all that stuff. And Madcap Moss was like, yeah, I got a match against Karrion Kross tonight, but I'm going to do better and all that. Emma was like, yeah, you will. And stuff like that. Just, you know, stuff with that. But then we get to the match, Karrion Kross with Scarlett versus Madcap Moss. And it was an okay match. Madcap Moss was doing way better than what he was doing in the last match. You know, beating down Karrion Kross. He actually gets face-to-face with Scarlett outside of the ring. And then Karrion Kross grabs him, runs him into the ring post, locks on the cross jack at one point. Madcap was trying to fight out of it, runs him into the corner and everything, and then he actually picks him up and slams Karrion Kross, jumping down, slamming him onto the mat. Karrion Kross actually let go of the cross jack at one point, but then he literally jumps right back up, locking it back on, making him pass out. So yeah, Karrion Kross defeated Madcap Moss tonight, and then after the match ended, Kross and Scarlett got out of the ring, and comes running down, checking on Madcap Moss. So yeah, that's what happened there. But for that match, I'll give it 2 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was an okay match. Nothing really too special, but it was alright. So yeah, that's why I'll give the match. But yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown. See you guys later until then. So the next thing to happen on Friday Night SmackDown, we got Bray Wyatt next, and he had the next segment. He comes down to the ring, making his way down there, and he starts telling about how he's Bray Wyatt, and pretty much that he wants to apologize to LA Knight about what happened last week and all that, and he's saying that he's sorry and stuff because he understands LA Knight very well, because he has issues of his own, pretty much. So yeah, that's what Bray Wyatt was saying, and then LA Knight makes his way down to the ring. And LA Knight was kind of a little bit hesitant to get into the ring, but he does, and he was like, "You claim that you say that you know me, but you don't. Nobody understands me." So pretty much that's what LA Knight was saying, and then he gets into the ring, and he goes like, "You know what? You headbutted me last week, and I want to say, if we're going to be even," and then he just slaps the hell out of Bray, and he quickly gets out of the ring, gets on the apron, and Bray's looking a little bit pissed off. He goes like, "You know what? I'm fighting these urges right now, but I'll say that we're even, okay? We are even now, LA Knight, so all I'm asking for is for you to shake my hand." He sticks his hand out, through the second rope or whatever, wanting to shake LA Knight's hand, and LA Knight, instead of shaking Bray Wyatt's hand, he slaps him again and quickly gets off the apron, walking backwards up the ramp, and Bray Wyatt is just staring at him. The stare, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty cool. He was staring at LA Knight, zoned out, you know what I mean? Sitting there, zoned out, and then while he's staring at LA Knight's walking backwards. You can see Uncle Howdy popping up on the big screen, just flickering on and off a few times. So yeah, really cool stuff. I really like this Bray Wyatt character, and going into this feud with LA Knight. Really good stuff. Go check it out if you have yet. I like it, for sure. And maybe y'all will. But yeah, after that segment, up next, we got the next match. Shotzi versus Shayna Baszler 1-on-1. Ronda Rousey will be at ringside with Shayna Baszler. So yeah, that match will be happening up next. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing to happen on Friday Night SmackDown, now before I talk about Shotzi versus Shayna Baszler, we gotta talk about one segment before that match, which was Karrion Kross and Scarlett. Now they was walking backstage, and then Jimmy and Jay the Usos approached them, talking about, "Are you the 5th member of Drew McIntyre's team?" And Karrion Kross is like, "What the hell are you talking about?" pretty much. And he's like, "No." And Jimmy Uso's like, "Yeah, I don't believe he is anyways, but just know, don't get in the bloodline's way," and all that. And Karrion Kross is like, "It's okay, I'm not the 5th member, but you know what? Tell Roman to keep those titles safe, because I will come after him eventually." So yeah, that's what Karrion Kross said. But then we get to the match. Shotzi versus Shayna Baszler with the SmackDown Women's Champion Ronda Rousey at ringside. And it was an okay one-on-one match. It was going back and forth a little bit. Shotzi was taking control of this match. She was setting up for the sliced bread. But then Ronda gets onto the apron, distracting Shotzi. Shayna then pushes Shotzi into the ring post shoulder first. And then Shotzi gets on the apron. Shayna locks on the cookie to clutch onto her through the ropes. Referees counting. Looks like Shayna was about to get disqualified from that. And then Raquel Rodriguez makes her way down to the ring, distracting them. So yeah, and then Shayna grabs Shotzi's hand, about to stomp onto her arm, about to break it, telling Raquel, yeah, she's about to break her arm and all that stuff. And then when she was trying to stomp on it, Shotzi moves her arm, and then rolls up Shayna for the 3 count. So yeah, Shotzi defeated Shayna Baszler tonight on SmackDown. She quickly got out the ring before Shayna and Ronda got their hands on her. But yeah, it was an okay match. Nothing really too special. For that match, I'll give it 1.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was okay. But then, after that, we see LA Knight pretty much, try and get out of the arena, And we see the interviewer come up asking LA Knight why is he so much in a rush. And LA Knight was saying that, I'm not in a rush. Nobody's scared of Bray Wyatt. You just seen it. I just went out there to go confront him. So, yeah. Mind your own business. And he starts walking away. But yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good stuff. I really like the speed between Bray Wyatt and LA Knight. At first, last week, I was like, probably not going to like it. But you know what? After the segment from earlier now, I kind of like the feud. So yeah, pretty good stuff though. But yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on SmackDown. So the next thing to happen on Friday Night SmackDown now, before I talk about the 6-man tag team match, there is one thing we gotta talk about. LA Knight, Bray Wyatt done killed him, I swear. A bunch of referees and stuff found LA Knight knocked out unconscious underneath a pile of a bunch of stuff. So, yeah, Bray Wyatt took care of LA Knight and done killed him. But yeah, that's what happened right there. But then we get to the match. It was the Intercontinental Champion Gunther, Ludwig Kaiser, and Giovanni Vinci Imperium versus Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, the New Day, in a mystery tag team partner in a 6-man tag team match. Now Imperium made their way down to the ring, and then they get out the ring, waiting at ringside for the New Day. The New Day comes out, and then they introduce their mystery tag team partner, and it was Braun Strowman. So yeah, the New Day's teaming up with Braun Strowman to take on Imperium in the 6-man tag team match. The New Day starts brawling with Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci, and then Gunther was just staying his distance away from Braun Strowman. He did not want none of Braun Strowman in this match at all. Everybody's going at it, and then I think Woods was the legal man. He kicks Ludwig Kaiser away, and Ludwig tags in Giovanni Vinci, and then Woods tags in Strowman. Strowman comes in, pretty much destroying Giovanni Vinci. Throws Vinci to the ropes at one point. Gunther tags himself in. Giovanni, springboard off the second rope, but then he gets knocked down by Strowman in the air. So yeah, that's what happened to him. Gunther gets into the ring, turns Strowman around, hits him with a vicious chop, but has no effect onto him. Strowman then chases after Gunther. Gunther gets out the ring, running away, and then while Strowman's chasing after Gunther, he goes ahead and knocks down Vinci and Kaiser with shoulder blocks. Gets into the ring. Gunther hits a chop onto him again, and it looks like, he's feeling the effects a little bit, but not too much. And then he runs to the ropes and comes back, and then he gets hit with a spine buster. Strowman hits a spine buster onto Gunther, pins him, but he almost got the 3 count, but Gunther barely kicked out at 2. Gunther quickly, Strowman was trying to hit the powerbomb onto Gunther. Gunther, slipped out of it and then kicks him in the leg and then tags in Kaiser. Kaiser gets in the ring. Strowman tags in Kofi, and Kaiser and Kofi's going at it for a little bit. Kofi knocks Giovanni Vinci off the apron. He tags in Woods, and then they hit Midnight Hour onto Ludwig Kaiser and then pinned Kaiser for the 3 count. So yeah, the New Day and Braun Strowman defeated Imperium tonight in the 6-man tag team match. That's what happened. Pretty good 6-man tag team match. Go check it out if you have yet. For that match, I'll give it 3 stars. That's why I'll give it a pretty good match though. But yeah, definitely I think Strowman probably be the one to win the tournament now, because now on the Gunther versus Strowman, that's going to be a good one to see, So yeah, I think that's what's going to be happening now. But yeah, Strowman goes to the back, and then as soon as he goes through the curtains, Kayla Braxton's there, and she interviews Strowman about maybe possibly winning the World Cup to go face Gunther. He says, yeah, I'm going to win the World Cup and face Gunther and beat him for the Intercontinental Championship. And then Ricochet comes up and he goes like, well, you got to get past me next week, because I'm not going to let you win. I'm going to be the one beating you and then win the World Cup and then become the new Intercontinental Champion. So yeah, that's what Ricochet said. But up next, it will be the main event. It will be Sami Zayn versus Butch 1-on-1 in the first round of the World Cup tournament. Up next on SmackDown. So yeah, that'll be up next, and we'll possibly find out who the fifth member is as well for Drew McIntyre's team. So yeah, that match will be happening up next in the main event. But yeah, see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing to happen on Friday night SmackDown, it was a main event. But before I talk about the main event, they announced a few matches for next week on SmackDown. Braun Strowman versus Ricochet, I think, is announced. Not only that, they got Santos Escobar versus the winner of this match, which I'll say at the ending. And then they got, a few more things. Shotzi and Raquel Rodriguez versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler in a tag team match, and many other stuff. But yeah, we get to the match, and it was Sami Zayn with the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions Jimmy and Jay the Usos and Solo Sikoa, the Bloodline, versus Butch with Sheamus and Ridge Holland, the Brawling Brutes, and Drew McIntyre. So yeah, everybody's at ringside. Sami Zayn versus Butch in the first round of the World Cup tournament in the main event. And it was a pretty good match. It was going back and forth and everything. And Butch starts taking control of this match. But then at one point, Jey Uso gets on the apron. Butch knocks him off the apron. And then Sami Zayn rolls him up. But Butch barely kicking out at 2. And then hits the enziguri after that onto Sami Zayn. And then Jimmy Uso's distracting the referee. And Jey Uso gets on the apron again, kicking Butch upside the head. And then Sami Zayn hits the Blue Thunderbomb onto Butch, pins him, but Butch barely kicking out at 2 again. And then everybody outside the ring is going at it. Drew McIntyre and everybody, they're all brawling and stuff. But then the Usos starts getting the upper hand, beating down everybody. And then they turn around. Butch jumps off the second turnbuckle with a moonsault onto him. Gets back into the ring. Sami Zayn hits the exploder suplex on the Butch in the corner, setting up for the hula hoop kick. But then Sheamus is brawling with Jey Uso. Jey Uso kind of gets back into the ring, blocking off the hula hoop kick by accident, and Sheamus drags him back out the ring and then throws him into the barricade. And then Butch, his bitter ending onto Sami Zayn, and then pins him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Butch advances to the semifinals of the World Cup tournament, but immediately after the pin, got counted to 3. Solo Sikoa gets in the ring, kicking Butch in the face, and then his spinning Solo onto him, laying him out, and then everybody's brawling and everything, beating down each other. But then the undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman comes walking out. Roman hits a Superman punch on Ridge Holland outside the ring, and then he hits a spear onto Butch outside the ring. Drew McIntyre was brawling with Sami Zayn, I think, or one of the Usos inside the ring, somebody. And, he's waiting for Roman to get back into the ring. And then McIntyre and Roman is going at it, beating down each other. And then Solo comes back into the ring, grabbing Drew, but then Drew throws Solo out the ring. And then he turns around, he gets hit with a spear by Roman. And then Roman and Sheamus starts going at it back and forth. Roman then starts beating down Sheamus, hits a Superman punch on Sheamus, setting up for the spear. But then Kevin Owens' theme song hits. He comes running down, beating down the Usos, hits a super kick on the Jimmy Uso, laying him out. He gets into the ring. Him and Roman Reigns starts going at it. Kevin's just beating down Roman in the corner, stumping on him and everything. And then he turns around. He gets face-to-face with Sami Zayn. And then Kevin Owens is face-to-face with Sami Zayn. And then he gets hit with a Superman punch by Roman Reigns getting laid out. Sami then gets dragged out of the ring by Ridge Holland. And then Sami reverses it and throws Ridge into the barricade. And then Roman was setting up for the spear onto Kevin Owens. But then when he runs for the spear, Kevin reverses it by hitting a knee to the face onto him. Kicks him in the stomach, and then hits a stunner onto Roman Reigns, laying him out. So yeah, Kevin Owens laid out Roman Reigns, and he is the 5th member of Drew McIntyre's team. So at Survivor Series War Games, it will be the Bloodline versus the Brawling Brutes, Drew McIntyre, and Kevin Owens in War Games. So yeah, Kevin Owens is the 5th member. Pretty good stuff. I really liked it. For the match, what happened after the match, I'll give it all 4 stars. That's why I'll give it pretty good stuff. I really liked it. But yeah, really good stuff. Like I said, I liked it though. But yeah, for tonight's Friday night SmackDown, I will have to give it, I'll give it 8.5 stars as well. It was a really good episode of SmackDown. For match of the night, it's probably Ricochet versus Mustafa Ali. That match was really good. The 6-man tag was really good. The main event was good. Liked it with Kevin Owens returning and laying out Roman Reigns and all that stuff. Pretty good stuff. But yeah, That has been my Friday Night SmackDown reviews. Like, subscribe to CNW Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Vales, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. They'll all be down there in the description box. And yeah, I'll see you guys later for this Monday's Monday Night Raw episode review, and see you guys later for tomorrow night's AEW Full Gear reviews. So yeah, see you guys later. Until then.